iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, here to the North Wilkesboro Speedway tonight for the Culpeppers and Bakery Cafe 100, right here from, well, one of the best short tracks that ever was. Tonight, we race under the daytime here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series, for the final time in season number 4. I'm your host up here on the booth tonight. My name is Roger Muth, and I'm glad to have each and every one of you race fans tuning in here tonight, whether you're watching live on our YouTube feed or over on Facebook Live. Welcome, race fans, because you are going to be in for a treat here tonight. 4 drivers technically come in with a chance to win a championship here tonight. Take a look at those 4 drivers coming in. Dalton Williamson, 3 wins on the season. A.J. Hamill, 3 wins on the season. Brian Hacker, just 2 wins on the season. And the Storm from the North of Max Terrill with 3 wins also on the season. So those 4 drivers come in with a chance to win the championship, and those are the only 4 drivers this season that have parked themselves into victory lane. We will see if any other driver can scratch their name on that list here, as it is the final time to get a win in season number 4 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series here tonight for Red Light Racing, because season 5 is fast approaching. But first, we have to get through this season. It has been one of the best seasons we have seen. We started way back on March the 18th at the Oxford Plains Speedway, where the rookie sensation A.J. Hamill was able to go to victory lane before we went to Thompson, where Max Terrill won. We were at Las Vegas Bull Ring. Max Terrill won again. We're down at Phoenix, where Dalton Williamson broke through to victory lane. Nashville went to Brian Hacker. Stafford went to Dalton. Hacker won again when we went to the Magic Mile. And then A.J. Hamill at Southern National went back to Victory Lane. Dalton Williamson won at Concord, then 5 flags went to AJ, and last week at the USA International Speedway, Max Terrill went to Victory Lane. Your top 4 drivers coming into the night just separated by 24 championship points. So it's not over. It's anybody's ball game. 43 points just off the top to go to Victory Lane here tonight. And we will see after we get this thing started off. And we are ready to go down trackside to start here tonight. This is your starting lineup, brought to us by 6 Rings Racing. Starting on the front row, driving car number 25 out of sunny California, this is the 25 of Rob Haynes. Starting at his outside, out of Ayer, Massachusetts, driving the checkered flag Auto Supply Higgins Hill Racing number 40, this is Rob Higgins. Brian Robinson in the 37 NY will roll off P number 3 here tonight. P number 4 is going to go to the driver out of Massachusetts, driving the Need for Speed Motorsports number 2, Granny Hips and Walkers, Joshua Buckley. Rolling off in the 5th position, it's the American Tire Distributor Tuxedos by Ted, number 54 of Rex Hoyle. Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe on board the number 14 of Brian Bianchi, rolling off 6th. 7th will go to Michael Trevarthen. 8th will go to Mark Jenkins out of Virginia, driving the RPM Motorsports, 99. 9th tonight will go to the Rev Esports driver, number 11 of Sean Single. Dalton Williamson, his teammate, going for a championship. He'll roll off from that 10th position. 11th, the Storm from the North. He'll roll off 11th. A.J. Hamill out of Vermont or New Hampshire or New York or I think it's California. The 18 will roll off 12th. 13th here tonight, Justin McDuff back in action here. He'll start 13th. Bob Higgins back in 14th in his checkered flag Auto Supply number 41. Joe Strano will roll off 15th, while Tony Strano is 16th. Johnny Bell in the 17th position, Aiden Alvecchione in 18th, Blake Timmons in 19th, and making his return and starting shotgun to the field, it's going to be Doyle Lowrance, driving car number 7 here tonight, and we are happy to see Doyle back behind the wheel. Of course, Doyle came down with COVID-19 after working in the hospital down there in Texas, and we are glad to see him back here tonight to join us for the final round of the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series right here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. You see the cars on the Speedway, 20 cars strong here tonight, as they will be led to the green flag by the driver out of California, picking up his first pole award of the season. We're getting ready. 100 laps are on the docket here tonight. Green flag in the air. We're racing in the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe 100 here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And oh, a big bobble down to the inside. Hayden's going to stack the bottom side of the Speedway up. See, that bottom side of the Speedway just not going to get going here as Haynes hit a little bit of the grass down there. So lap number 1 will go to Rob Higgins. As Higgins tries to extend the lead, Joshua Buckley scooted. Oh, Haynes going to hit the grass again. This time, a couple of them going to stack it up. The American Tire Distributor number 54 of Rex Hoyle down to the inside here. We stay green flag racing, but boy, did he come close to the inside wall. I don't believe he got the wall, but there was definitely contact down there, and he keeps it straight. As there's your race leader. He is out front right now. See everybody coming up behind him. It's Higgins across the line, followed by Buckley, Bianchi, Dalton Williamson, A.J. Hamill. The 2 championship drivers right now are running currently 4th and 5th on the scorecard. There you see the number 1, the Tampa, Florida driver of Dalton Williamson. He's trying to pick up his first career ever championship. As back there into the 5th position, slowly but steadily. The Arts Barbershop 18 of A.J. Hamill. Still battling back here, though, with Rob Haynes and Brian Robinson, trying to figure out who's going to have position number 6. Oh, problems for Haynes as he goes to enter turn 3. Up the track he goes as a bunch of the BK Paints Rev Esports drivers down underneath him. That's the 11 of Sean Single and the 31, the new hired gun of Michael Trevarthen. They're both going to make their way around. Now here comes the 42 of Max Terrill. Rob up against the outside wall down the back straightaway. He'll go to the outside here as Joe Strano will work the inside of the Speedway. Right now, that 25 has some handling issues. The driver out of California trying to hang on to it. One of them into the outside wall. The caution flag is coming out here. Aiden Alvecchione, the South Carolina driver, having some issues. So as Aiden Alvecchione has a little bit of problems down there, he'll have to now bring that car down to pit road because the motor unfortunately has expired here on lap number 8. It's not a good sign when you got smoke bellowing out the back end this early. Motor's running, but it is absolutely toasted here tonight. So Aiden Alvecchione will come to pit road. Let's take the look back here. Aiden going down into the corner. Let's see, car gets... Blade Timmons, something happened with Blade Timmons. As you see, Aiden all crashed up on the front straightaway. Right on board with Blade Timmons. Don't know if there was a throttle problem or what. That car just shot to the left. Watch it again. Watch the 23 of Timmons. He worked to the outside of Johnny Bell. Aiden makes hard contact to that inside wall, and he is down on pit road. There you see the 271, the youngster. His night looks to be over here. So as Aiden Alvecchione's night is not going to end the way he likes, this caution flag will help the number 99 and Mark Jenkins. He was scheduled to start in the 8th position here tonight. Unfortunately, he did miss the call to the starting grid, and he had to start from pit road. So he will now officially be on the lead lap here tonight after 8 completed green flag racing laps. So he should restart back into the 18th position. There you see his car number 23. He tags the back of the field. He will get the EOL penalty. That's the end of line penalty for causing an accident here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. So he will just tag the back of the field. That is the driver out of Carolina. That is Blade Timmons. The iRacing.com pace car lights are off. That means next time by, we'll go back racing with just 10. It'll be 11 laps in the books when we do get the green flag. It'll be Rob Higgins in the checkered flag on a supply. Number 40, it's the Granny Hips and Walkers. Number 2 of Joshua Buckley, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Number 14 of Brian Bianchi, and the Rev Esports driver, Dalton Williamson. That's your top 4 as we come back into the restart zone here. Green flag is back up. We're racing again tonight here on the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe Championship Night. Buckley holding strong to that outside groove right now as they work down the back straightaway. Look at them side by side. The drag race to turn number 3. Inside lane looks to be a little bit snugger down to the bottom, a little more steady wheel. But holy shamoly, look at the momentum that the Granny Hips, Walkers, and Kane. That tennis ball is definitely on that cane, and it is pushing that accelerator for Joshua Buckley as he'll lead that lap, and now down the back straightaway, he scoots ahead by about a car length. That restart for Joshua Buckley, textbook move. One driver stuck to the outside here on this restart. It's the 37NY of Brian Robinson down to his inside. That's the Rev Esports number 11, car number 11. That's the black one down to the inside. That is Sean Single. He is trying to come up through the field here tonight as he's got Max Terrell on the 42. Max tonight, if he wants to win a championship to go back-to-back and be the only driver to go back-to-back in championships with the modified series, he would have to win. And A.J. Hamill and Dalton Williamson would have to have something happen. But right now, Dalton Williamson is on the hunt as he is now going to pick up P number 2 as the outside for that number 40 is just not working here tonight. Rob Higgins stuck to the outside and going backwards. He lost second. He lost the lead. He lost second. Now he's looking to possibly lose third as here comes Brian Bianchi. Is not going to happen. Bianchi had to lift, and Rob Higgins slams the door on him. A.J. Hamill still continues to ride in 5th, and now it looks like the 11 of Sean Single did pick up that 6th spot, so that puts the 37 and the 42 side by side down the back straightaway. Laps are turning fast here tonight for these drivers. Max looking to pick one up. It looks like the 99 of Mark Jenkins having some problems. He's down into the grass right now with that 99 entry. The leaders are coming up on him very quickly. They're going to make their way around as the 99 stays down to the inside. Rex Hoyle also down on pit row with his 54 entry. Joshua Buckley still continues to lead the race here, still battling way deep into the field here tonight. The 42 of Max Terrell finally looking like he might clear that 37 and wide down the back straightaway. As he clears, now could be a possibility for the 31 here. Michael Trevarthen to work to the inside. Almost 3 wide out of turn number 4. Almost going 3 wide. That was the 20 of McDuff, the 31 of Trevarthen, and Robinson in the 37. There you see the 3 of Tony Strano making his last start here with the SK Modified Series. He'll be going back to school, and he will now have to focus on that over the iRacing.com platform. 42 of Max Theriault, though, on the move here. He is looking to try and pick up that spot from Sean Single. Single working the outside of the speedway. A little bit of a bobble there by car 42 of Max Theriault. Joshua Buckley right now still holding a pretty wheel out front. Nothing has changed in the top 3. It's still Buckley, Williamson, Higgins, Bianchi, Hamill, and now Theriault will pick up P number 6. 31 of Michael Trevarthen shuffled back a spot here. Now there goes the 3 to the outside. That is Tony Strano. Right behind him, that's the number 43. That's the brother. That is Joe Strano. Missing the last couple of weeks here in the SK Modified portion of things. And he's here tonight, worked his way up inside the top 15. So Joe Strano runs to the outside. Right now, all these drivers trying to figure out if it's the outside lane or the inside lane. And they got some great racing going on back here from about that, call it the 6th, 7th position all back. Everybody making moves. Even A.J. Hamill looking to the outside here on the Culpeppers machine. He's got Billy the Kid underneath the hood of that 14 machine, and if you know anything about Billy the Kid, they sure know how to wind up the horsepower underneath the hood. But right now, A.J. Hamill's going to take the Arts Barbershop ATVTNY into position number 4. Championship hopeful. Right on board with your championship hopeful of A.J. Hamill. You see Rob Higgins, Dalton Williamson, and then Joshua Buckley, your leader here tonight. There is the race leader, old Granny Hips, leading here. 25% of this one has already been put into the books here tonight. A very good race here for the championship night, presented by Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Dalton Williamson came into the night with just an 8-point lead over A.J. Hamill, so he needed to have a good run here tonight. No slip-ups, no mistakes for the driver out of Tampa, Florida, because he knows that Mr. Confusion could pounce if something were to happen. Both drivers had to come from deep into the field. Both drivers have picked up 8 spots here already tonight. Here comes the number 1. He'll peek to the inside of Granny Hips. The 99 of Jenkins will go to pit road. He will get out of the race leader's way. As the 2 of Buckley. Granny Hips going to hold the outside lane. He's going to make Dalton Williamson earn it. Granny Hips has not won since season number 1 when he went to victory lane at the Thompson Speedway. So you know he is hungry. He will not roll over. Dalton will dive it off into the corner. Higgins and Hamill have now caught this battle, and they're bringing along the number 14 of Bianchi and the 42. So call it about a 6-car, a little bit of a freight train breakaway here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Only having 1 caution flag, a couple drivers down on pit road. Mark Jenkins, Rex Hoyle, and Aiden Navecchione right now down on pit road. Everybody now has started to really single file themselves out here tonight. Everybody working into a groove. Timmons real close to the outside wall. He'll check up the lane. Here comes the 31 of Michael Trevarthen. He'll now go down to the bottom side of the speedway. Timmons almost into the outside wall. Trevarthen trying to sniff it out, and he's not going to be able to. Timmons will hold on to that position in his number 23. Timmons during the summer months drives late models down in South Carolina. Here virtually on the iRacing.com platform here with the Red Light Modified Series. He is putting some laps in this SK Modified. Says they don't have an SK Modified portion down south. So his best chances to get behind the wheel is right here on iRacing.com. Rob Haynes started on the front row here tonight. Quickly dropped through the field. The driver out of California is now running back into the 14th position. And you want to talk about one of the coolest photos to have your driver photo award? If it had to go to somebody, Rob would definitely win it for having one of the coolest photos I've ever seen. Right now, that JL Audio number 25, though, sitting back into the 14th position. Granny Hips knock another one off the board. That'll be lap number 35 into the books here tonight. Joshua Buckley holding on to the top spot. Championship contender Dalton Williamson in second. Rob Higgins back in third. And championship contender A.J. Hamill back into the fourth spot. Brian Bianchi having one of the best runs he has had all season long in that Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe entry. He is currently running inside the top 5 here tonight. Brian Bianchi also snuck into the 10th position in points last week after having a solid finish at USA where he finished 7th. Has a handful of top 10s to his record this season, but does not have a top 5 to go along with it. He has led 21 laps coming into the evening, so he would like to get a couple more laps led if he could, and especially hold on to a top 5 spot at least. Dalton Williamson hasn't been able to do anything with Joshua Buckley out front, and everybody is pretty much settled into a spot as 2 drivers are coming back out onto the raceway. Here is the 505 Motorsports entry number 54 of Rex Hoyle. He has come back out onto the speedway. He is currently running in the 19th spot, 18 laps off the pace. Mark Jenkins looks like he has retired, but one other driver has come back out, and it's the Charleston, South Carolina teenager of Aiden Elvecchione, so he has come back out here tonight. Battle for the race lead right behind Aiden Elvecchione as they're side by side once again. Car number 1, car number 2, Buckley and Williamson are doing a jig back here to figure out who can have that spot. A little contact there from Dalton Williamson. Trying to take the race lead. Josh Buckley making him hold true to his line down on the bottom side. And here comes A.J. Hamill as these two beat and bang off each other. A.J. Hamill now starting to look to the outside on that number 40. Buckley still able to hold the top spot as also Brian Bianchi's getting worked over back there. The 42 has now also got to the inside. Justin McDuff has run them down. So now that's a 3-car battle back there for the 5th spot as you see A.J. Hamill going to the outside of the number 40 of Rob Higgins. Higgins trying to do it for the Higgins Hill Racing Stables. Of course, got checkered flag auto supply on the side of that car. Came in 7th in the championship standings here tonight. He has ripped off 2 top 5s on the season, having his best ever season here in the modified series as he falls back to 4th. But look at Bianchi. He'll put the Billy the Kid motor underneath there and see if he can get the ponies down to the ground pounds. Joshua Buckley still holds off the advances. We'll be 5 laps away from the halfway point here tonight. Can Josh Buckley lead at the halfway marker? Buckley having one of his best championship seasons also this season. 7 top 10s, 1 top 5. He's only led 3 laps coming into the night, so you can say he is hand over fist, put more laps in the record book tonight, leading here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway than he has all season long. As now A.J. Hamill is looking to pounce on the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Remember, these are your 2 championship drivers coming into the night, separated by 8 points entering the night. Dalton Williamson had the top spot, but he is pressuring that number 2. He has already made some contact with the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. Doesn't want to have his night end. Even if A.J. Hamill were to get around him right now, it still would not net him enough points to win the championship. So if you're Dalton Williamson, what do you do at this point? You just want to have a solid night of racing here. You don't want to go ahead and really force the envelope and crash this number 1 out of this event. You need every point you can get. The farthest back Dalton Williamson could fall is about 6 positions back behind A.J. Hamill here tonight and still win the championship. You're watching the best battle on the speedway right now of your top 3 drivers right now, Joshua Buckley, Dalton Williamson, and A.J. Hamill. One driver all of a sudden off the pace up to the top side. That's the number 11 of Sean Single. I don't know if something just happened as he entered turn number 3, but they were not side by side, but they exit turn number 4 side by side. And now the 37 NY of Brian Robinson will go right around the inside. Justin McDuff also looking to get around the 42 of Max Terrell. McDuff to the outside here. McDuff missing last week in competition, which took himself out of championship contention. He was fourth in the championship standings, just 20 points back. He now enters tonight fifth in the championship standings, 38 points out. So he would have to win, and everybody else would have to have a very, 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 very terrible night here. So the 20 of McDuff will now pick up position number 6. As number 23 of Timmons and the 31 of Trevarthen. Remember a couple of weeks back when Michael Trevarthen started shotgun on the field and was able to come through the field to finish inside the top 3 on a podium. Ever since then, the driver out of Florida just has not been able to duplicate what he did that night. Tonight, he's already knocked outside the top 10. As he started up inside the top 10, he's back running into the 12th position as he's still trying to hound the number 23 of Blade Timmons. Josh Buckley, number 1. Dalton Williamson, number 2. A.J. Hamill, number 3. Right now, that's your timing and scoring after the halfway point home of your top 3 drivers. And as we're halfway home in this one here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we got to thank you all for tuning in here to watch the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe season finale. It is championship night here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. We're glad you're here to watch us crown a champion tonight. That number 2, though, of Joshua Buckley is being hounded as we go on board with the mechanic advisor onboard camera with Joshua Buckley, your leader. You hear him have to be off the throttle a lot in the center of the corners to get this number 2 to rotate. Here comes A.J. Hamill. He looked to the inside with the Arts Barbershop, number 18. Not going to do anything with it, though. He tucks back in line behind the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. This time by, we're complete lap 57. A great turn that time off of turn number 4 for Joshua Buckley. A little tight that time it looked for Dalton Williamson. So nothing changed inside the top 3. Here's a battle with the Hornet's Nest still at it, and these drivers are all swatting at each other. Here comes the 31 of Michael Trevarthen. He'll go down to the inside of the speedway here. He'll try to make the pass on the number 23 of Timmons. He'll be able to pull side by side, and he'll be ahead at the line, but he'll have to do it once again down here in corner number 1 and 2. Almost touches that grass down there, and that would be the no-no zone. You don't want to go way down there and touch the grass. You get the car all sorts of out of shape. Timmons up the speedway a little bit, but he'll carry momentum. There you see the 43 of Joe Strano. The Green Forest Tree Supply number 43, the driver out of Wisconsin. Everybody single files back in. The 31 of Trevarthen just not able to do it. As he kept taking the peak, though, this driver started to get closer and closer. Santa Clara, California, Rob Haynes was right there in the mix now. See him, he is closed in, and just behind him you see the 3 of Tony Strano also. Yellow flag is out onto the speedway. Yellow flag is out. I think something happened with Brian Bianchi in car number 14 and car number 20, I think, of possible Justin McDuff. So that'll bring us under the caution flag here. Just after halfway tonight here in the Culpeppers Bakery and CAF 100. Take the look back here. What happened to Brian? Oh, contact. Contact for the 2 drivers running inside the top 5. Right now, barely contact into each other, and see if we can slow it down here. And oh man, that's a rough one for both drivers as they were trying to get down into the corner. They make the contact. The round goes to 14. The 20 also sideways. Both drivers, though, are able to hold on to their cars and save it, so that's the best case right there for those 2. So, taking a peek at the running order right now. There's been a little bit of a split decision by a lot of these drivers here tonight. A lot of drivers staying out, a lot of drivers coming in. Right now, it looks like Buckley, Williamson, Higgins, Robinson, Timmons, your top 5 drivers, elected to stay out here. They stayed out and did not come to pit road, so they still have the original set of tires they started this event on. Drivers like A.J. Hamill, you see the Arts Barbershop number 18. He came to pit road. He put 4 tires on it, looks like. Joe Strano looks like he put 2 tires on the 43. Justin McDuff came to pit road. Michael Trevarthen, Brian Bianchi, your top 10. All those drivers did come to pit road. So we'll see if A.J. Hamill played the right card here and went down to pit road and got tires. Right now, if we tallied up the point standings here for the season finale, it would be Dalton Williamson winning by about 13 points over A.J. Hamill. The race ain't over yet, though, race fans. We still have plenty of racing to go. It'll be 67 laps completed when we do refire here tonight. Will the number 2 of Joshua Buckley be able to hold off the young gun of Dalton Williamson? As it looks like Buckley will choose the outside here on the restart. He's been able to hold off that number 1. So it'll be Buckley to the outside, Williamson to the inside. Row number 2 will be Rob Higgins, Brian Bianchi, Blade Timmons, A.J. Hamill in 6th. Joe Strano back in 7th, Justin McDuff in 8th, Michael Trevarthen in 9th. Brian Bianchi will round out the top 10 cars here. We'll go racing next time by at the stripe. Buckley and Williamson on the front row. iRacing.com pace car down and away. Green flag back into the air and a great start by Granny Hips. Granny Hips will clear. Oh! Looked like the one of Williamson had to check up, and Buckley then got sideways down into turn number 1. Now Williamson going to lose the nose on that number 1, and he'll slide backwards. It'll be Josh Buckley holding off. Now it looks like the 37NY stuck to the outside on the old tires, holding the 18 of A.J. Hamill to the outside. Not going anywhere with that 18. There's Joe Strano. He's making the 2 tires work down to the bottom side of the speedway. Here comes Michael Trevarthen also. Varying tire strategies for all these drivers here. Everybody's got to be patient, wait for the tires to come up to temperature. 69 laps here have been completed. Joshua Buckley still leading here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Strano will take a peek to the inside down the back straightaway on the 23 of Blade Timmons. Remember, he has the newer tires. A.J. Hamill now gets down to the bottom side, see if he can use those 4 fresh tires on the 18. Joe Strano's really using the 2 fresh tires he put on the green Forestry Supply entry. How about the Rev Esports driver, Michael Trevarthen, as he works down the back straightaway? Strano going to slide up. He'll make the pass. Now here comes the 31 of Trevarthen. Out front still Joshua Buckley. There you see the distance. You see all the hungry hippos coming to the watering hole. 31 of Trevarthen looks like he is going to be able to clear Blade Timmons. A.J. Hamill trying to run the bottom side of the speedway back there also. Car still side by side. The 37NY of Brian Robinson still stuck to the outside. Now he'll be able to get down to the bottom side of the speedway right ahead of the number 14 Culpeppers entry of Brian Bianchi. Max Terrell buried, absolutely buried in traffic. One of those championship 4 drivers we talked about coming into the night. Right now he is outside the top 10. He's back in 13th running spot. A.J. Hamill looks like he's going to make quick work with his fresh tires on the number 23 of Blade Timmons. Here comes J-Mac, the McDuff. Everybody trying to work their way up through the field. Granny Hips running away with it because here comes Joe Strano. He just worked underneath Dalton Williamson. Williamson did not put up a fight at all. He knew his fate right there with those fresh tires by Joe Strano. What does he have for Joshua Buckley now? What does he have for old Granny Hips? He's got the fresh tires. Nobody's been able to do anything with that number 2 of Joshua Buckley here tonight. They're close in. 24 laps to go here tonight in the season finale. Can Joe Strano take it? He's there. He's right up against the rear bars of that number 2. Here comes Joe Strano. He'll point and plant the 43 to the inside. Can he get it done? Down into turn number 1 he goes. He'll work the inside of the speedway, and he's not going to get the run. "22 laps to go this time by at the line. 22. Josh Buckley still holding on. Michael Trevarthen having some connection issues in the 31. Right now, Trevarthen holds down P number 4. A.J. Hamill right behind him. Side by side, a little bit deeper into the field. There's the 20 of McDuff. Timmons to the outside. That's Cerebral Palsy Foundation number 20 of McDuff trying to rally back through. He was involved in that incident with the number 14 of Brian Bianchi. Bianchi has not been able to rebound as he's back into the 13th spot. McDuff is right now trying to hold on to a top 10 spot because here comes Tony Strano high wide, hands him around the outside in that number 3. Side by side out of turn 2 they go. That number 3 is a rocket ship on the outside. McDuff does have fresh tires on his number 20, but the inside is not the place to be here tonight. The 11 of Sean Single also stuck to the inside as here comes Rob Higgins. Higgins to the outside. He'll look to make the pass down the back straightaway. A.J. Hamill trying to go to the outside. Not going to make anything happen there on the 31 of Trevarthen. That time, 18 laps to go. Your front 5 drivers put them all under a blanket as they work down the back straightaway. Couple teammates inside the top 5 right now. You got the 31 of Michael Trevarthen and the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Then you got A.J. Hamill. He will win the Rookie of the Year championship here tonight. He clinched that one a couple weeks ago. But he would like to put not only the Rookie of the Year championship on the mantle, he would still like to win the single season point standings also. We've only ever had one other rookie go and win the Rookie of the Year and the single series championship point standings. That was his teammate Brian Hacker back in season number 2. The Empire Racing Stables group will also walk away here tonight with a team championship. So AJ trying to make it a clean sweep for everybody in his team. But he has a lot of work to do still. He's back in 5th. Dalton Williamson. Crash. Caution flag onto the speedway. Big parking lot. Parking lot as you see the 14 of Bianchi. You see the 7 of Lowrance. Rob Haynes, Bob Higgins, Brian Robinson, all involved down here with just 14 laps to go. If you just penciled anybody in as the winner, race fans, you might as well crinkle it up and throw it away. Because this one just got very interesting here tonight. Let's take a look back. What happened? Oh, the 14 of Bianchi into the 37 and Y, and then the chain reaction as everybody's riding nose to tail. See the 7 of Lowrance, nowhere to go. Bob Higgins, the 25 there of Haynes coming in. Right on board with the 37 and Y of Brian Robinson. See the 25 machine, that JL audio entry. Have a bit of a ride going down into the corner. Right on board with Bob Higgins as he comes into the wreck. See the contact, the sideways car, the smoke all of a sudden, and everybody's down on the brakes and nowhere to go. He comes to a stop, nose to nose with Brian Bianchi. Check it out from the driver out of Spring, Texas, of Lowrance. Parking lot, turn 1. So it looks like everybody has made their bed here tonight. We're going back racing with under 10 laps to go. Drivers that were just involved, though, in that caution flag: Doyle Lowrance, Brian Bianchi, Brian Robinson, Rob Haynes, Bob Higgins, Rex Hoyle, all involved down in turn number 1. Now Josh Buckley has some thinking to do, because he will have the 43 of Joe Strano restarting right behind him. And when you think about it, Josh Buckley has the old tires. Yes, the outside lane has been working, but the 43 with the new tires has been able to work on the bottom side of the speedway. And just like that, race fans, we know exactly where Josh Buckley plans to put his walker. And that is on the outside. Under 10 laps to go here as we clean up our third caution flag of the evening. There was the parking lot down in turn number 1. There's your front two. Josh Buckley to the outside, Joe Strano to the inside, Dalton Williamson, Michael Trevarthen, A.J. Hamill, Sean Single, your top 6 drivers. iRacing.com pace car off the racing surface. Here we go. Great start by Josh Buckley to the outside. And no, he's going to miss the shift. He's going to get pounded by Michael Trevarthen down into turn number 1, giving him a little bit of a bump draft. He'll actually shoot out ahead. Josh Buckley will lead down the back straightaway. Buckley leads down the back straightaway, but it's still anybody's ball game. Joe Strano going to really sail it in 3 and 4. He'll come out of turn 4, and the crossover by Michael Trevarthen. He will look to go to the inside for P number 2. That is exactly what Josh Buckley wants to see. These drivers side by side stacked up behind him, because it'll be just 7 laps to go. It looks like the tires on the 43 are just about gone. A lot of oversteer down in turn number 4. Timmons trying to make the outside lane work. He's got the 3 of Tony Strano up underneath him. He was pushing him down the front straightaway last time as the 18 of A.J. Hamill stuck down to the bottom side of the speedway. Dalton Williamson going backwards, but he knows if he has the 18 behind him, that is exactly where he needs to have his championship competitor. Here comes the 3 of Tony Strano. He's going to go to the outside. They were almost 3 wide in turn 1. Almost 3 wide racing down in turn number 1 here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. This time by for your race leader of Joshua Buckley. He'll get the high 5. He has to take his hand off the walker. Buckley takes the high 5 that time by, meaning 5 laps to go here tonight. Joe Strano still holding strong in P number 2. Michael Trevarthen is 3rd. Sean Single is back there in 4th. Timmons has now moved his way around the number 1. Oh, contact! Contact! 3 drivers making contact down there, and even Joe Strano just had some problems. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Here comes Justin McDuff. Something happened to A.J. Hamill, too, because he is well down the running order. The 11 of Sean Single just had a major mishap, which could have been disastrous, but he was able to hang on to it along with all of his other competitors. Wow, and Dalton Williamson was right there in the mix of that one. He could have had something happen. But this time, the popsicle sticks will fly. 2 canes in the air for Joshua Buckley. It's Buckley, it's Trevarthen, it's Joe Strano, and then it's the Hornet's Nest. Timmons, Dalton Williamson, Strano, Justin McDuff, Max Terrill back into the fray of this. Here he comes in the 42. It'll be 1 lap to go. Presented by Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. It's the final lap of the season. Joshua Buckley looking to get it done. He has a 1-second lead. The final time down the back straightaway. It'll be the final time into turn 3 and 4. It's been a long time coming. His last win came at Thompson. He'll win here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And then it'll be Michael Trevarthen, Joe Strano, Blade Timmons, Dalton Williamson, Tony Strano, Max Terrill, Sean Single, Justin McDuff, and Rob Higgins, your top 10. Dalton Williamson will pick up the championship here tonight, as he's going to be able to hold off A.J. Hamill as he will finish 5th here. Everybody going after Joshua Buckley and his canes and walkers machine, as Josh Buckley puts more time in with red light racing than anybody, and everybody showing him their appreciation for him. I'm sure the whole crew down there is popping some, I think he drinks Steel Reserve, so I'm sure the crew's going to have those all on tap for him. We'll see if he comes down here and still remembers how to do some donuts for all you race fans here. As he's going to go all the way down. There you see Granny Hips, Buckley. I'm sure this one will be up on YouTube here in the next couple of days as he'll go down here where there's lots of room to do the donuts. And he'll do the donuts, and so will the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Dalton, of course, being your champion. He'll come over here and he'll give the little bump there to the number 2. There you see Sean Single. He's just happy to finish this one off. So as these two celebrate, we're going to pull some of these drivers for some post-race, some post-race interviews here tonight. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway for the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe season finale for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. Welcome back here, race fans, to the North Wilkesboro Speedway here tonight for the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe season finale. It's the championship race for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series, and they just put on a heck of a battle. A lot of strategy coming into the night. Championship hopes on the line for a handful of these drivers, and it came down right down to the nitty-gritty here tonight. But we have a lot of post-race interviews to get to before we can tell you exactly what the points margin was. Let's start things off here tonight in your post-race show with the driver of the number 2 who goes to victory lane, Josh Buckley. It has been a long time since you've been able to park this number 2 in victory lane. First off, congratulations. Second off, tell us about tonight's race.
Yeah, no, it's been a while, but definitely just, started off, I think it was 3rd or 4th, and just tried to run. I know Dalton was running for a championship, but I mean, if I'm in, ahead, I'm going to try to keep it. And it was just, strategy was outside on the restarts. And, if Dalton was going to try to pass me, I was going to make him do it on the bottom. I just felt like that if you give them the bottom, it makes them tight to come off the corner, and you really got to it worked, man. It worked. I can't believe it worked, but it did.
Couple times you and the number 1 of Dalton Williamson rubbing Nerf bars out there. Were you worried at any point with the number 1 back there, knowing he was racing for the championship, but knowing that you were trying to get back to victory lane for the last 3 seasons?
Had to rub that one in. It's been a while, huh? No, I know Dalton. I know he was trying everything he could too, because I know AJ was back there, but it was going to be one of those, I'm going to give him respect, if he does get a run on me and obviously beats me, it is what it is. But I wasn't just, sitting P1, I ain't just going to let him go. So, it was one of those, he gets the run and, takes off, then so be it. But I was going to give it everything I had.
And you gave everything you had. But talk about one of those final restarts there. You saw the 43 of Joe Strano. You knew he had at least 2 new tires on his car. And then you saw the number 31 of Michael Trevorthan there also. New tires behind you. What was going through the head? Did you ever contemplate coming to get tires yourself?
Once they took tires, I knew my bed was made. I just, on the restarts, I was going to give them the inside, and I was going to make Joe and try to burn his stuff up, and obviously it worked. And it just I don't know if anybody else figured it out, but the second lane was the lane to be in to try to defend your position. And once I figured that out, and obviously on the restarts, Joe slept on the green just a hair, which helped me out too. So
that's what let you and your Walkers and Canes entry to scoot out to a little bit of a victory. Josh, congratulations on finally going back to victory lane. Well deserved here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. Who's all back home? I know it's a long laundry list at this point, and it's been a long time coming.
Honestly, just want to thank everybody from Turn 3, everybody who's run in the SK Modified Series this year, all the sponsors that have helped support this season. You definitely do not go unnoticed, and I greatly appreciate having you all a part of the series. Hopefully look forward to having you guys again in the future, and just thank you to everyone watching, and yeah.
Well, there you hear it, race fans. The driver of the number 2, Joshua Buckley, will go back to victory lane for the first time in the last 3 seasons. He is finally able to park it on top of the pylon. P number 1 here tonight, Joshua Buckley picking up the win in the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100 here tonight. Congratulations to him and his whole crew. I'm sure Massachusetts right now is absolutely going off the hizzy, if you know what I mean. Let's keep it rolling here, finishing, though, just 1 spot back. He drives car number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen, we talked about you earlier in the show of how you were fading and trending backwards outside the top 10. You were just struggling to stay inside the top 15, and then that caution flag came out, and 4 fresh tires changed the whole world.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit at the beginning. Got hung on the bottom on both of those restarts and just faded all the way to 12th, 13th, somewhere in there. Yeah, luckily the caution came out. I took 2 tires, was able to jump a few spots, and obviously the fresh tires made a difference. We were able to jockey our way up there and make it work.
Now, we saw the fresh tires did work for you coming through the field, but really how big of a difference in the seat tonight were those fresh tires?
It felt good for that last 40 laps, so I'd definitely say the right sides helped.
So now you put fresh tires on there, and then you stormed up through the field. How about that final restart, though? What did you have left in this 31?
Yeah, like Josh was saying, the outside lane got a really good jump there. I think it definitely hurt Joe and Dalton and everybody on that bottom lane. So we were able to kind of scoot away a little bit. Joe did end up getting back in front of me there. A little bit of a hairy moment there, but we all kept it on the track, and all's good.
And then a P number 2. This is your second podium of the season. Congratulations, Michael. But who makes this all possible? A brand new paint scheme on the side of this number 31 here tonight.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to you guys at Turn 3. You do an awesome job with the broadcast. Josh and the admins here, they put on a great league. Great group of drivers in here. Definitely want to give a shout out to Rev Esports, Sean Sengel, Dalton Williamson, and Tim Williams. We definitely put in some work throughout the week to make this happen. And want to give a shout out to the wife and the kids.
Well, there you hear it from car number 31 here tonight. Michael Trevarthen will win, or not win, he will, well, in his mind, it's a win, I'm pretty sure, but he'll finish P number 2. Joe Strano finishes in P number 3, and Joe, you missed 2 weeks and you come back and you run inside the top 3. It's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, after the season we've had, it's been really up and down all season. We've had some good races and a lot of bad ones, unfortunately. So it was really nice to come out in the last week after having to miss a couple of weeks for being out of town, just to come out and put on a show and race my butt off for the last race of the season.
And you were racing probably the hardest here tonight than you've raced all season long, because you had a chance to go up there and take old Granny Hip's Walker right away from him and scoot on by. What happened there at the end? The 2 tires fall off?
Oh, yeah. I ran him to the limit on that long stretch. I think it was like 20, 25 laps. I just was trying to get everything I could get because I knew eventually they were going to fall off and I was going to lose my opportunities. And Josh was running his line. He talked about in his interview. That second line was the line to have. And so trying to pass people down low, you just wear your stuff out so quick. And unfortunately, that's what led to me struggling there on that restart. I had actually looked out at Josh when the green flag came out, so I wasn't even looking for the lights. I was looking at Josh to make sure I wasn't in front of him, and caught me off guard, and everything was history after that point.
But it still was good enough to hold on to a podium spot. So, Joe, once again, we thank you for coming back. We love seeing you on the Speedway. You know, we talked before the race here, but who made this all possible back home?
Appreciate Green Forest Tree Supply for being on the SK all season. Draft Top, Victory Junction's on here as well. Thank you to my wife, McKenna, my mom, Lori, who's watching, my grandmother, my father-in-law, Mike, my other father-in-law, Marty, who is the owner of the Green Forest Tree Supply. So just appreciate all the support for everybody. Appreciate you guys up in the booth, and thank you all the fans.
There you hear it from tonight's third-place finisher. He finishes on the podium in his return back to the SK Modified Series. Joe Strano holding it down for the Strano Brothers Racing Stables. And man, what a great race it was here tonight. But now I guess all you race fans that are tuning in would like to know who won the championship here tonight. Well, that's a pretty easy one to tell. It was pretty much going to be a heads-up race, and it's the driver that was able to pick up 3 wins this season. He finished in the top 5 6 times with 8 top 10s. All season long, he came into the final race leading 209 laps. He'll leave here leading 209 laps all season long. Your champion here for season number 4 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series is the driver of the BK Paints Rev Esports number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Dalton, congratulations on the championship here this season with the whole crew. I mean, what do you got to say? You're winning your first championship here in season number 4.
I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you, Roger. That was a little stressful. I wasn't sure if I was going to pull that off with AJ on new tires there at the end. End of that was pretty chaotic, to say so the least, but I guess I finally got one of these. You didn't jinx me after last week when you asked me that question, I guess.
Well, we talked about it all season. Whoever was the leader of the points championship, the next round it was going to flip-flop. Here tonight, you broke the streak, you broke it, and you pretty much slammed it on the ground when you broke it and just stepped on it.
Yeah, you had me a little stressed out after you said that. I didn't think of that till, I looked over the previous seasons and figured out that that was a known thing, I guess, and I didn't really like that. It was, like I said, real nerve-wracking.
But you were able to cool the nerves and pick up the championship here. You had yourself a great season. A couple races you'd probably like back, like the Bull Ring or Oxford to start the season. But after really, Nashville, you went on a tear. You won at Stafford. You finished second at New Hampshire. A great race at Southern National. You won again at Concord. 5 flags. And last week, you finished podium or runner-up there to the 42 of Max Terriol. And tonight, you had a pretty good car. You weren't able to go up and pick up the win, but the points had to be on your mind all evening long.
Yeah, my goal coming into the night, man, once Josh got out front, I know Josh was going to race me hard. I love old granny hips, as we call him, and all the work he does. But, my plan was to stay ahead of AJ tonight, really. I wasn't trying to go after a win, especially with this track being so top-heavy to try to pass somebody. There wasn't much I could do there, so my main goal was just to stay ahead of AJ there at the end. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do it with him on new tires, like I said, so I was kind of glad I was able to pull it off.
Well, you pulled it off here tonight. Dalton, congratulations on picking up your first championship ever with Red Light Racing. Who do you have to thank for having a great season here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series?
First and foremost, Checkered Flag Auto Supply for sponsoring the series, man. They do great work. Bob and Rob and Josh and all the admin in here, man. Like I said, great league, great group of guys. Everybody, races clean, and you for broadcasting all of turn 3. I know a lot of you guys, man. You guys do excellent work. And as far as Rev Esports, man, Mike and Tim and Sean, man, all the work we put in over the past 4 weeks was quite crazy, to say so the least. I mean, we ran about 1,000 laps here combined. So as far as sponsors, Platinum RV Services, McConey Setup Shop, Total Advantage. I might be missing BK Paints, and other than that, that's it.
Well, Dalton, congratulations once again on the championship. He will celebrate this one, race fans. He told me he is going to Hooters, so we'll see what he comes back with from Hooters. Congratulations to Dalton once again. He is your champion here for season number 4 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. And boy, what a race it was, and what a season it was. We started way back at the Oxford Plains Speedway, and we finished up here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Season 5 is fastly approaching. Will driver of that number 1 be able to put it back into victory lane next season? We will have to find out when that time comes. Next season, possible start date for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series for Red Light Racing is looking like a possible a July start. So look for the SK Modified Series to come back in July right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But we got to thank everybody that was involved with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series for Red Light Racing. First off, we got to thank Checkered Flag Auto Supply. We got to thank Six Rings Racing. We also got to thank Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. We also got to thank Mechanics Advisor. Coach's Corner. We got to thank them for coming on board. We got to thank Rev Esports, Higgins Hill Farm, American Tire Distributors, and of course, all of you race fans that tuned in weekly here on Thursday night to watch some great short track racing action. For everybody at Red Light Racing and everybody here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name is Roger Muth. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And if you're interested in more Red Light Racing action, you can find that Monday right here when these drivers are back at the Dover International Raceway. Till then, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we will see you at the races.